Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hussain Qazi here, your facilitator for the subject financial management. And I also do conduct the facilitation. I also do conduct the facilitation about the subject advanced financial management, strategic business reporting, and limited part of strategic business leadership with the Kashif Kamran, Mr. Kashif Kamran. So today we are here for the purpose of a brief introduction about the financial management, the subject financial management. So you people know very well, this is what about the skill level paper, and with the sequence of the ACCA, that's the last sequential paper of the ACCA. Last sequential paper of the skill module of ACCA. So let's start the particular session with a brief introduction of my name is Hussain Qazi. I am Hussain Qazi, Alhamdulillah. Almost about the 15 years of teaching experience to conduct the subject of FM, AFM, SBR. Also associated with the Platinum Status College in Pakistan, the only Platinum Status South Region College of Pakistan, that's the Baniji School of Accountancy. My 100% career or always belongs to Platinum Status College, and Platinum Status College, where the passing ratio always more than the global average passing rate. And moreover, Alhamdulillah, since my teaching experience, multiple nationwide and global positions, not in Pakistan, outside the Pakistan, students associated with me. That's an important point. Moreover, furthermore, as a professional accountant, I'm also engaged with a professional accountancy firm and serving a role as a director at the position of HRS network. You can approach me during office hours on the WhatsApp 00923218271784. So let's start with the subject, that's the financial management. Let's start. So before involving it and drilling about the subject and how we will execute the sessions accordingly, before that, the very important thing is that what the particular focus point you have to consider here. What the focus point you have to consider here, that's a key point. What the focus point? Focus means the target you have to set in your mind, not specifically to this session, but throughout the journey of the exams to qualify the FM examination. Number one, the very important thing, very important thing you must have to bear in your mind that you have to bear in your mind that you the average passing rate of this particular subject is 45%. The average passing rate of this particular subject, that is average that is 45%. So if you are moving towards for the preparation of any subject, so first thing that's bear in your mind that the passing rate of the subject, that's 45%. So we have to develop our strategy in a manner that we are become part of this under 45%. Whatever the strategy you have to follow, or I suggest to you, that's in a way, that's whatever the strategy we will if we move towards the strategy of the success, we must be under 45%. That's the important point. Furthermore, the focus area is that you have total 10 weeks for the preparation, revision of the FM subject. From now, you have 10 weeks. So the complete course is actually about the 10 weeks duration. That includes the preparation, that's called the videos, that include the assignment, that include the revision, that include the mock exam. By the way, our course actually belongs to or consists of these 4 components. Number one, the live sessions and the videos, plus regular assignments, feedbacks, plus last month, 2 weeks ago, the exam revision classes, plus mock exam and briefing. But it doesn't mean only if we put only our efforts equals to your result. Whatever the direction we will provide to you, you have to opt it accordingly. And then follow you just have to follow our directions. If we give to you the assignments, you have to attempt it. We will give you the feedback, definitely. That's important. So first thing, the passing rate 45%. Number two, you have the time period of 10 weeks. First target must have to become part of 45%. Second target, we have only 10 weeks for the preparation and the revision. Number three, the exam is 100% compulsory. It means if you are sitting in the examination hall, if you don't know anything, for example, you skip some part of the syllabus and you don't have knowledge of the syllabus area, that means you will lose the mark. So another focus point, we have to prepare 100% syllabus we have to cover 100% syllabus areas. We cannot make a strategy for the cherry picking. Just select limited areas of the syllabus. No way. We will discuss the exam structure as well with this particular session. But moreover, third point, 100% compulsory exam. Number four, last skill module exam. Number four, last skill module exam. This is by the sequence of ACCA, last skill module exam. After that, you will shift towards the professional exams. So this particular subject, including AA, is actually providing a bridging aspect or linking the students toward the skill and the profession as well. What I personally suggest to you that some reflection of the professional part of the exams also reflect with this particular subject, especially with respect to the theoretical aspect. But how to handle that particular thing, I will discuss this point. That is the point. So that's very much important. Whatever we are discussing here, that's with the today's session and all over the time period for the preparation of this particular exam. These four things must bear in your mind. Success rates, make a strategy in a manner that you become part of under 45%. Number two, you have total 10 weeks. Manage your time accordingly. Number three, the paper is 100% compulsory, so we have to cover all the things. And this is what about the last skill module exam. We have to cover the things in a manner that we will move next time for the professional exams. Okay, let's start. The very first thing, okay, the very first thing, before entering, what are the syllabus areas? Before entering, what are the syllabus areas of the financial management? First of all, we have to develop our mindset. What is the right approach to study the finance? What I said, what is the right approach to study the finance? In simple words, what are the syllabus areas of the financial management? What are the exam structure of financial management? How we will conduct the sessions? Before these points, we have to develop our mindset. If we are entering to study the subject financial management, what is the right approach or what is the right direction or how to develop our mindset about this particular subject? Number one, the first thing, this subject is not accounting. This subject is not about past. Two things. If you really want to develop your mindset or approach about the finance anywhere in the world, in ACCA, in CFA, in the master's program, academics program, whatever, another certification, whenever you study the finance, mark my word, this is not accounting. This is not about reporting. This is not about something about past. With respect to ACCA, this is the first time you are studying the subject. There's no background about the subject. In fact, I must say that this subject is about ABCD of the finance. It means if you, for example, you're studying the subject FR, F7, you have a background of F3. If you study the subject of PM, you have a background of F2. But this subject like audit, this subject like tax, financial management, you don't have any background. You never study anything about finance except a limited part about the NPV, very limited part in F2. So first thing, sir, what is this about the subject? If we are entering with any particular subject, what is this about? What mindset we should have to develop for this particular study? That's a key point. That is the key point. Approach, what's the right approach to study the finance? So very important thing, if we are working, if we are moving towards to study this finance, first of all, if I ask you that, what is this picture about? Very renowned personality of the world. Can you please reply me? Anyone? Do you know any one of them? Okay, Bill Gates, the owner of the Microsoft, the owner of the Facebook, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, very renowned personality. Why I have attached that particular picture here? All these are the, if I ask another question, are they accountants? Are they accountants? No. They are not accountants. They are entrepreneur. They are entrepreneur. They are entrepreneurs. So why, sir, why you attach that particular picture here? Why you attach that particular picture here? Because we have to develop our mindset as an entrepreneur. We have to develop our mindset as an entrepreneur. We, the finance manager, must have to develop our mindset, forward approach, strategic approach, futuristic approach. That's the point. So number one, our approach to study the finance as a finance manager or financial controller. This subject is about strategy, that is planning. It's not about the past. What do you do normally in accounting? What do you do normally in accounting? If you are an accountant, if your role as an accountant at Microsoft, if your role as an accountant in Apple or in Facebook, what you will do? As an accountant, your role is to report the transaction. Whatever happened as a transaction previously, you have to report that transaction. That's all. You have to report the transaction. That's all. That is about past. But here we are not discussing anything about past. Here we are discussing about future. As an entrepreneur, not an accountant, not as an accountant. That's the key point. Whatever the syllabus area we will discuss, that's all about entrepreneur planning. Let's take one example. These two pictures, that is income statement, that is balance sheet. These two pictures. There are two pictures here. Income statement, balance sheet. These two pictures, income statement, balance sheet. If I ask you that, have you ever seen that particular pictures, income statement and balance sheet? What you will say that, sir, of course, we have made multiple times the income statement and the balance sheet. But here we are not discussing for the making of income statement and balance sheet. if this income statement, this balance sheet in front of entrepreneurship, how the entrepreneurship, how the entrepreneur, how the owner, how the businessman will observe this income statement balance sheet. Means one picture, two point of views. One point of view, accountant. Another point of view, not accountant, entrepreneur. One picture, two different point of views. Here, same picture, but our point of view as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur. For example, this is a picture. A mega plant. For example, cement industry. An entrepreneur. You are an entrepreneur. For example, this one. Who is this guy? The chairman of this particular cement industry. The chairman of this cement industry, for example. He is entrepreneur. Right hand side, for example, me, a very busy person, but accountant. So, number one, cement industry. Number two, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur appointed me as an accountant. Okay. Another guy, production manager. And this production manager handles all these production aspects. And there is a communication between this production manager and chairman. There's a communication. And what's the communication? This production manager having a debate with the entrepreneur. Sir, enough is enough. Your business have been performing day by day with a growth aspect. And you are performing brilliant in the market. You have done, and you have your market share now become increased. But this particular plant capacity, it's over now. The capacity of this plant is over now. We need to expand the capacity. And actually the production manager is here in a mood for shouting. Sir, enough is enough. It's more than enough. We have to expand the plant if we wanted to sustain the growth level. If we wanted to sustain the growth level. Otherwise our quality will deteriorate, and so on. So you as an entrepreneur, listening the communication of this production in charge. And I am accountant. Also. I'm accountant also listening the communication between you as a chairman and the production manager. But there's one question in front of you. With respect to this communication, me as an accountant, what I am thinking about this expansion of plant, and what entrepreneur thinking about the plant, about this plant, expansion plant, are they both thinking in a similar way? You just reply me here. No worries. Even you, if I'm asking some question, and if you are watching that particular videos, even you watching it, you have to reply by yourself. And if you have any problem, you can ask me on the WhatsApp. You must reply me, sir, about the communication of expansion of this plant. The mindset of the accountant is different, and the mindset of entrepreneur is different. The entrepreneur will thinking that if I'm going to expand the plant, from where I will get the finance? Yes or no? If I invest the finance either from debts or equity, I will invest the money with the expansion of plant. Is this expansion of plant generate enough profit to meet the return of debt holder and equity holder? Means entrepreneur having a mindset about this picture of income statement and balance sheet in a different way. Balance sheet right side, the entrepreneur is thinking about how to arrange the finance, debt finance, equity finance. Balance sheet left side, that is about investment. Income statement, that is about return. Will this return enough to meet the required return of debt holder, equity holder? But if I ask you that Mr. Hussain Ghazi is an accountant, of this, but and listening about the communication between entrepreneur and production manager, what he will think, or what Mr. Hussain Ghazi will think as an accountant, if this plant become expand, what will be the estimated life? How should the depreciation will charge? What accounting standard will apply? What should be debit? What should be credit? That is all about reporting. I'm not criticizing about the reporting, but the dynamics and the dimensions of the reporting is different. And the dimensions and the dynamics of the finance is different. Once again, I must say, one picture, two dimensions, 2 point of views. Our point of view about income statement, balance sheet as an entrepreneur. And this is what about the complete syllabus. The one part of the syllabus called investment, that's called investment appraisal, NPV. If production manager says that expand the plant, we will not accept immediately until unless we appraise the investment. Answer me yes or no. Even you people are watching the recording. I'm sorry. Answer me yes or no. First of all, must have to appraise the investment. That's the first part of that is about the analysis, NPV, and whatever the method, NPV, payback, IRR, accounting rate of return, that is called investment appraisal, the first part of the syllabus. But investment requires finance. So where we will arrange the finance, debts, equity, debts having different dynamics, equity having different dynamics. So investment, finance, returns up, analysis of the returns, that operating profits, that up to the mark to meet the debt and equity holder required return or not. And that is what about the broader picture, how to study the subject finance. Once again, that this subject is not about past. This subject is about future. Planning, analysis, first thing. This subject is about the approach as an entrepreneur, not an accountant. And this is what about the syllabus area. This is what about the syllabus area. So till now, what we have done, actually, if before entering any particular subject, I must give an example here. If I'm accountant, if I'm a pilot of this aircraft, and now the time has come to land our aircraft here. Now the time has come to land the aircraft here. So what the first thing that should develop in our mind? Right approach. Means if I'm a pilot and control the aircraft and it's time to land, the very first thing that is about, approach where to land, or the right target towards that particular landing area. The very first thing. If I'm I'm not become successful about right approach towards the landing, that this may happen. And in our case, this airline crash means our financial management result become flunk. May Allah willing, inshallah ta'ala, whatever the direction I will provide to you, whatever the direction I will provide to you, inshallah ta'ala, I will provide to you. I'm not providing you any guarantee, but I can assure you based on my past experience that you will be able to qualify the exam. You will be able to qualify the exam. Now, the important point is that what this picture about? What this picture about? This picture is actually about your role as pilot. Your role as pilot here. And it's time to land your aircraft. It's time for the arrival of your aircraft. And it's, as a pilot, your responsibility to develop the right approach towards a successful landing of this aircraft. And that is the point for the financial management here. So some important points with respect to the examination, with respect to your examiner comment. Back to 2013, I met your examiner at UK London conference, or UK Nottingham conference, where examiner particularly mentioned these things, these 2 points, very important. Normally, the student have a question in mind, sir, how much calculation and how much theory with this particular subject, how much calculation and how much theory? I must not say in a manner that 60-70% theory or calculation, 30% or 40% or 50-50%. I must say the very most important first thing. With respect to the calculation, there are 2 categories of the subjects in business studies. Once again, in business studies, wherever there are numbers, there are 2 categories. There are 2 categories. Number 1, calculation-based theory and theoretical-based calculation. For example, a topic called in F7, ratios and analysis. That is called calculation of ratios, analysis theory. So calculation-based theory, that is the topic, ratios and analysis. Same case F5, variance analysis. Variance is a calculation, and that calculation based analysis, that's theory. These 2 examples is about calculation based theory, but this subject is reverse. All the calculations are based on some theoretical background. For example, if I have to think like an entrepreneur, so I am finance manager. My role is to think like entrepreneur, and my responsibility is to maximize the wealth of entrepreneur. The objective of this subject is to maximize the wealth of entrepreneur. But in books, the term not use entrepreneur, but the shareholder. Who are the shareholders? Who are the shareholders? Shareholders, actually, the owners of the company. They are not actively participative in the listed company, but they are the owner. So as a finance manager, what is our role? Our role is to maximize the wealth of shareholder. This is theory. And to maximize the wealth of shareholder, we have to identify investment opportunity like this. Investment opportunity, expansion of plant. But before final decision making about expansion of the plant, before final decision about expansion of the plant, we have to analyze the investment. That is called numbers, NPV. So very simple point. Why we calculate NPV? We calculate the NPV because the theoretical aspect is that analyze the investment for the sake of maximization of the wealth of shareholder. So maximization of the shareholder wealth is a theoretical aspect, and for this some calculations required. So this subject is actually about theoretical base calculation exam. Theoretical base calculation exams, number one. So if you have in your mind that what is this about what is this about the subject, so I must say the very basic point, don't ignore the theory because the subject is all about theoretical aspect, theoretical base calculation exam. Yes, based on past experience, we can observe that almost 52 to 55 to 60% reflection of the theory. 55 to 60% reflection of the theory in the past papers. That is our analysis. Either section A, section B, or section C. If you accumulate them, it's about 55 to 60%. That is the point. So, candidates, what we have done till now, we just discussed whatever we are going to study, that is financial management. What is the right strategy? What's the right approach or right mindset to develop for our studies? To study the financial management. Right approach to study the financial management. Three important things. Entrepreneur approach, where our mindset is about to maximize the wealth of shareholder. It's all about futures. It's nothing about accounting, about past. Two things. Number three, we cannot ignore theory. Theoretical base, theoretical base calculations here. So main role here, theory and calculations are supportive. Main role, theory, calculation are supportive. These 3 points are important. Now we are going to enter with the financial management syllabus details. But before that, we have to take a break. Take a break for the 3 to 4 minutes to re-energize yourself. Thank you very much. 3 to 4 minutes break. Okay, welcome back again. So the next point is that, sir, what's the particular details about the syllabus? What's the particular details about the syllabus? So FM syllabus details. There are 6 components of the syllabus or 6 areas of the syllabus here. 6 syllabus areas. That's A, B, C, D, E, F. That's 6 syllabus areas. Now we are going towards one by one in detail. Number one, the very first thing that is about financial management function and environment. This is all about theory. This is all about theory. Yes. This is what 100% about the theoretical aspect. That is section A, financial management function and the environment. And what is basically the topic about? You people know very well that every business is actually every business actually exists on with a particular business environment, and the multiple business environment affect to the business activities. For example, a business in Pakistan, a business in India, and business in US affected by the external environment, that's called the macro factors. Macroeconomic issues include more drill down the macro issues, including fiscal policy, including monetary policy. This is the one point. If a company is a listed company, they have the option to arrange the finance externally through the stock market, by equity issuance, by debt issuance. So there are multiple markets arranged by the government. That is stock market, money market, capital market. So this is what about the financial management environment, number one. And another point is that function. So financial management functions basically means that the very important thing is that as a finance manager, our role is to maximize the wealth of shareholder. Maximize the wealth of shareholder. So if you are a finance manager and I am a shareholder, I have provided the fund to you. So your responsibility is to utilize my fund in a manner to maximize my wealth. Maximize my wealth means in future shareholders' wealth increases and you are in a position to provide more and more dividend to me. So if you perform well, automatically the share price will increase and my capital gain will increase. The share price of 12, for example, originally I purchased the share $12. Now it's increasing 13, 14, 15. Means you, the company, the finance manager, taking the good decisions. Good decisions of what? Good decisions of what? Right investment opportunity in terms of expansion, in terms of diversification, we will discuss later. In terms of acquisition, good investment opportunity. So that is the first thing to maximize the wealth of shareholder. That's good investment opportunities. But do remember, my wealth is not increased by capital gain. My wealth will also increase if you earn good profit and provide good dividends to me. So your decision about investment, your decision about finance, because in business, one of the finance invests by me as equity holder, but another finance that's you will arrange, that's the debt holder. That is the debt holder. For example, banks. For example, debentures. So the point is that one of the decision making, that's investment. Another decision making, that's called how to arrange the finance. Either to arrange the finance from the shareholders or temporarily finance the debt holders. That's your decision. But there are multiple dynamics we will discuss later. If you arrange the debts, then the debt ratio will increase, the risk will increase, the burden of interest will increase, but later on we will discuss. So as a finance manager, as another word I'm using here, steward of the business. Steward of the business. You have a responsibility to maximize the wealth in terms of identify the best investment opportunity, in terms of arranging best finance, and in terms of the decision making, when to provide dividend and how much to provide dividend. Because you people know very well that based on your law studies of F4, that dividend is actually the discretion of the management of the company. Discretion of with respect to the management of the company. That's called whenever you will decide. As a shareholder, I cannot stressing you to provide the dividend. You will have to decide when and how much dividend you will provide or you will declare. So these are the investment opportunities, and this topic is all about theoretical aspect. All about theoretical aspect. It's all about theory. The exam scope, it's about 5 to 10 marks. And there are 3 sections, as you people know that all the skill module exams from F5 to F9. The structure of the exam remains same. Section A, that's 15 objective test questions. Objective test question. Then section B, OTQs, and 10 marks each OTQs. So 30 section A, 30 section B, and 40 CRQs, 20 multiplied by 2. So this section of the exam, it's about section A, exam scope. Based on past experience, the exam reflects with this particular area of the syllabus, only with the section A, only with the section A. That's a point. Another point. Section B, investment appraisal. Very interesting topic because it's very much about the calculation, but we cannot ignore the theory. What I must say that investment appraisal, that is called NPV, that is called IRR, that is called payback, that is called accounting rate of return. More about calculation, but you cannot ignore theory. I must say that it's majority about calculation, but examiner examine approx 40 till the 40% of the marks, of the marks related to theoretical aspect as well. Okay, exam scope with the entire examination, section A, B, C, that's 15 to 25 marks. An examiner examine this part of the section anywhere, A, B, or C, means OTQs, MCQs, or section A, section B, or section C, anywhere where spreading this topic all over the syllabus areas. This is our observation. Number 3, that is called business finance. Business finance, one side of the financial management, that's called investment appraisal. One side called finance, business finance decisions, debt or equity. If we are going to arrange debts, what are the dynamics? If we are going to arrange equity, what are the dynamics? So the details we will discuss later on with the sessions, but this is what about the investment must be supported with the finance. Do remember that the syllabus here mix of long term and short term. Section B, investment appraisal, it's about long term. Section C, business finance, is about long term. Section B, about long term investment, purchasing plant, acquisition, business. These are long term investment. For long term investment, we have to support with long term finance. That's business finance. That's business finance. So long-term finance, that is debt versus equity, very broader dimension. Sir, what's the scope with respect to the calculation theory? I must say 50-50%. But I must say that you have to work out 60% theory and 40% calculation. Exam scope 10 to 15 marks, different of the syllabus. Examiner can examine anywhere in the paper, section A, B, or C, anywhere. That's a finance. A very important topic, that's business valuation. The topic is very extensive, business valuation, very extensive, but major area of business valuation, it's about the AFM exam. In FM, business valuation, it's very limited. This is actually the topic belongs or extend to the advanced manners of the financial management, that's called related to acquisition. For example, one of the investment is about to expand the business. For example, you are a bank. You have one investment opportunity and you have 100 branches. You have one investment opportunity to expand the bank, adding 20 more branches. Okay. But you may also thinking that you have investment opportunity to move the business to diversified in a telecom sector. You are a bank, but investment opportunity of telecom. And you are entering the telecom by acquisition of business, by acquisition of telecom. So before acquisition of the telecom, you have to value that business. Is this valuable for you? So for acquisition decision, we have to connect a topic called business valuation. But how? We will discuss later. Exam scope 10 to 15 marks. And these actually belong section A, section B. Sometimes examiner examine with the B part with the 10 marks OTQs. Or sometimes having incorporation some things with the section A as well. Not very much things reflecting on the C part. But this is what about the scope matter. Okay. That is a deep section. Section E and section F. Whatever we discussed till section D, A, B, C, D, that is all about long term. Either about fiscal monetary policy, macro indicators, all these things long term. Investments long term, finance long term. But here, two areas of the syllabus, that is about the short term. The very much important thing, that's called working capital management. A very simple example, I have to arrange money not only to purchase the machine, but also to run the machine. If I have money in my pocket to purchase the car, and I have spent all the money to purchase the car, and now having zero balance. So that means I have purchased the car, but not able to run the car. So be cautious that when you are going to plan or making decision about to invest, you are going to making a decision to invest in a particular business opportunity. So have to ensure that enough finance you have not only to invest, but also to run the business. And this is about to run the business, that is about working capital management. To run the business, that is called working capital management. Working capital means day-to-day operations, day-to-day finance. To management means how to manage the finance for the day-to-day operations. That is called working capital management. A very detailed topic. Examiner examine in very detail this topic. That's 15 to 25 marks. An examiner examine A, B, C, wherever. There are two topics where are observations. Examiner examine anywhere in the paper. Investment appraisal and working capital. Investment appraisal, working capital. Examiner examine either section A, B, C, all three areas. And this investment appraisal and working capital actually, investment appraisal and working capital actually provide you 30 to 35 marks in the paper. This is what a smart way, I'm telling you. You have a very good grip. Number one, investment appraisal and working capital to get 30 to 34 marks. And inshallah, we will work out in this manner. First, have to secure your 30, 32, 34, 35 marks. Then you have to work out more for remaining 15 marks to cross the 50 line, and then have to make target towards a distinction. Get the position, the worldwide position, inshallah. That is the point. So working capital management, that is about the short-term finance management. We will discuss later. Last thing, what this particular picture is showing about. What one word you will say about this picture? What one particular word you must say about this? What one particular word you have to say about this? If you are watching my video, you have to reply with your own mind, or if you have any query, you can ask me on the WhatsApp. Word one way. That is about shelter, protection. Yes. This umbrella in a rainy weather, it's actually about providing the shelter. Providing shelter. Students, business, if you are involving the business, the risk must have parallel with the business. Business and risk both are work in a simultaneous manner, move in a simultaneous manner, move in a linear manner. If you involve more and more in business, you are taking actually more and more risk. But the point is that the business, with respect to the business, we have to develop the strategy that what to do with that particular risk. What the strategy we have to establish to manage that risk. And there are multiple strategies we will discuss later. Even you study with the F8 as well, means AA. First of all, whenever you are doing the business, there is a system to identify the risk. Once you identify the risk, after that, you have to think about that, what to do. Either accept, either transfer, either avoid, either reduce, multiple points. But we are not discussing right now. We are here to discuss that. There are two things. There are two specific issues where the business faces the risk. Number one, if a company faces the foreign exchange risk. If the company deals with foreign exchange, for example, I have a business where and manufacture the cars, and 30% of the car components in my business I do import. 20% of my cars, of my sales belongs to the export. So that means there is continuous forex here. The involvement of forex here. So if the continuous forex involvement, there is a risk about the currency, local currency fluctuations, local currency valuation fluctuations, or maybe the foreign currency valuation fluctuations. So how to manage that risk? What to do? That is a part of the syllabus. Major part of the syllabus belongs to advanced financial management. Major part. But here the limited point we will discuss. Same case, in a regular manner, business do involve with the borrowings and lendings. So borrowing and lendings, where we will face the risk of interest rate. We will face the risk of interest rate. That is called interest rate risk management. So that is the point. That is the point here. So these are very technical issues where we will deal. That is called treasury and risk management. Treasury and risk management. Exam scope maximum 10 to 15. And exam scope, it's only about A, B, not C. It's by mistake. It's typo error. Only A and B here. Only A and B. Either examiner examine A part or B part. That is the point. So that is all about the syllabus area. So what we have done till now, what the right approach of the FM studies? The right approach is that entrepreneur approach. As a finance manager, our responsibility to maximize the wealth of shareholder. Number one. future oriented. It's not about accounting. It's not about reporting. Furthermore, theoretical based calculation. Number two, syllabus has 6 components with different categorizations. Broader long-term and short-term. Long-term investment finance, short-term working capital for and risk management, forex and interest. That's the syllabus areas. What is the sir? What's about the exam format? Same exam format with the computer base. No worries about that. Same case. Section A, OTQs, 30 marks, 15 multiplied by 2. Section B, OT cases, 30 marks, 3 OTs multiplied by 5. 3 cases multiplied by 5 OTQs each case, 30 marks. CRQs, constructive response questions, 2 questions multiplied by 20, that's 40 marks total. And this is what structure. You people know very well that there are 7 types of OTs here. Multiple choice, multiple response, fill in the blank, drag and drop down list, hotspot, hot areas. That is the point. CRQs, this is what the structure about. From the day one, we will work out with the computer-based exam approach. No manual approach, only the computer-based approach. If I provide you the assignment, you have to submit me the assignment with computer-based approach. Either if the question available with the CB format, that's good. If it's not available, use the blank space of the ACCA. This is the important point. This is very important point. FM passing rates since December 18 to September 21. Observe this. Observe this. Your observation is very important here. December 18 to September 21. The global passing rates, only with September 20, June 21 and September 21 crossing this 50%. And September 19, June 19, I must say that's exactly 50%. On an average, I must say, always prepare for the worst. We have to develop a strategy in a manner that let's assume that we will prepare a strategy with an assumption that the result is under 45%. Under 45%. So we must have to develop strategy how to become part of under 45%. Rather than to exaggerate the figure, okay, I will qualify the exam because the result ratio is more than 50%. No. I must say, always prepare for worst. Always plan for worst. So we have to develop the strategy that's under 45%. That's a key point. Moreover, for this session, we have to develop our mindset with all the aspects, because the next session that is about the studies. We will start the topic with the studies, with the long-term investment matter. What are the common reasons of the failure? What are the common reasons of the failure of these exams? That is, these further 2 slides is based on actually the examiner reports. These are the examiner communication. This is not my wordings. What are the common reasons for the failure? One by one. You people not enough good practice of the past paper questions. Number one, not enough practice. Okay, not enough practice means there are 3 sections, A, B, C. More focus on section C, normally. Less focus on section A and B. Normal observation is that student do practice of A and B just 10 days before the exam, without any quality preparation. Without any quality. No quality means based on quantity. For example, you pick the kit 10 days ago for section A and B. You just read the question and just refer the solution quickly. even without understanding completely about the even not properly understand the question, you just refer the solution. This is not the right way. That means not enough practice. Not you people do something well for section C, but not in good practice for section A and B. That's the first thing. Poor, not enough practice. Number two, not enough practice about the theory. For calculation, you observe from the screen, you do something. But for theory, you just read it. You just listen the tutor or facilitator, whatever saying. You just listening. You just reading. But before the exam, very least practice, very least concern about the practice of the theory. But in examination hall, 50% marks related to the theory, 60% marks related to theory. So not enough practice about theory, about section A and B with the wrong direction. That's a common reason. Same thing attached with that poor time management. Poor time management. What you will say poor time management? Candidates, poor time management. Not enough practice before the exam, and when you are sitting at the examination hall, your time, you are mess at that particular point. That's why resulting the poor time management, and you will not be able to complete your exam. Not attempting all the parts. Not attempting all the parts of the question. That's a very key point. Examiner regularly complain to the FMS students. You are not actually clearly understand what's the question about. Not clearly understand what the question about. And very disappointed statement by the examiner that students are least concerned about to handle the theoretical aspect. Even attempt the theoretical aspect in a very hurry manner. Less quality. That's called not explaining the answer, explaining. Lack of sufficient knowledge, which means you just focus on limited syllabus areas. Do remember that the paper structure after September 18 has changed. The examiner has a variety of margin to ask everything in the syllabus. Section A, 15 questions. Section B, 3 OTQs, 5, 15 questions. Section C, 2 constructive response question. Further splitting part A, part B. So examiner examine or prepare the paper in a manner to test all the area of the syllabus. So don't focus on cherry picking activities. Agree? Panic in the exam. Panic. Why you people panic? Because not focusing enough practice, not focusing on mock exams, not focusing on assignments. Many students just read the solution of the question. This is examiner comment. And do not try to read every part of the question by them. Attempting the revision kit or the past paper questions, just quickly read the solution rather than read precisely about what is question and then attempt the question by self. Rather than this, just read the solution quickly. Sir, these are the common reasons of the failure. Do let us know what is the right approach, how to overcome all the previous issues. Overcome in this manner. If I am this person, what is the right thing to target the exam? What is the right strategy? Number one, honesty and commitment. Number one, honesty and commitment. One by one. Not enough practice. Enough practice with exam simulate or the past exam. What is the meaning of exam simulate, sir? Listen carefully. Simulate, if I give you some question, for example, 10 marks question, one theory. You people know very well that For 10 marks question, you people 1.8 minutes for each mark. Because you have 180 minutes. 180 divided by 100 means 1.8 minutes for each mark. Sir has given you the assignment, 10 marks. You have to attempt the question assuming that you are sitting in the examination hall and make a timer. 10 marks multiplied by 1.8 is equal to 18 minutes. Assuming you are at examination hall. But for the sake of assumption of examination hall, first of all, avoid all distraction. Shut down the door where you are sitting, number one. Number two, switch off your mobile phone. Your ventilator machine, switch off your mobile phone and then focus on the answering the question. No worries, it's become right or wrong. Just attempt. If it's become wrong, no worries. Because you have to attempt wrong before the exam, not in the exam. So practice, practice, practice. Simulate in a simulate manner. I will do that with you about this. Then you will be able to qualify the exam. If you have issue, poor time management, once again with this practice. If examiner complain that not attempting all parts, practice with attempting all the part of the question. Explaining the answer as expected by examiner. You have good enough knowledge of entire syllabus, not focus on limited syllabus. Not panic in the exam means you have to simulate your exam before the exam. For example, homeworks, for example, mock exam, you have to work out accordingly. And if examiner says that do not just read the solution, not try to read every part of the question. You have to carefully read every part of the question and self-attempt. All these activities, inshallah, we will perform during our sessions. But the important thing is that the very first thing is honesty, commitment. If you are real honest and commit with me, I cannot guarantee, but I can assure you, because as a human being, we even don't know what is beyond this wall. This is our limitation. So how can I guarantee someone? I don't know about the future, but I can assure based on past experience, if these things you have to cover with the honesty and commitment, then you will be able to qualify the exam, inshallah ta'ala. Moreover, a very important question. If you wanted to study financial management, why with Hussain Qazi? These are some limited points with respect to my career or my trends about the studies. Number one, I'm very much focused about the conceptual studies. So please break the rule. These stereotypes, thinking about the traditional rote learning. I'm not focusing on this rote learning methodology, and this is the current environment requirement, even the ACCA exam. Alhamdulillah, long association with the ACCA Platinum Status College. So where the benchmark has already proven that the rate of results, it's more than the global passing rate, alhamdulillah. You will get, I'm not saying that you don't have the books and you don't need to read the book. You have to read the book, but the limited part of the book you have to read. I will guide you what part of the book you have to read it. But from my side, I will provide you the brief electronic e-notes, exam standard, but not the traditional rote learning. These are not bullet points of the notes. These are something different. Regular feedbacks and regular assignments with you, mock exam and debriefing. That is what the reason that you can join with me. Inshallah, based on this, you will you will qualify the exam. How the financial management sessions will execute. The course have designed with a total of 100 hours, 80 hours with the 7 weeks targets, and the 2 weeks targets about the revision. Every week you will get the targets you have to attempt. All the sessions are based on targets based, weekly targets here, and you have to regularly, we will meet regularly with the weekly live session accordingly schedule. My assistance will require accordingly an assignment submission through the emails. Once you become registered, you have to share me your email address, then we will correspond to the emails. Furthermore, the classroom of the WhatsApp will also be available for the registered students. Course material from my side and from your side, it's very clear. I will provide you the brief course notes. I will provide you some suggested answers. That is not only the past paper answers, but supportive for you people that how to handle the theoretical answers specifically. Past paper questions bank I will provide to you. But you have the latest Kaplan study text. You have latest Kaplan revision guide. You must have. You have to bring it. Past paper details. I have split the past paper details. There are total 12 past papers available. The left side is ACCA. This one is CB practice past papers. Means these 5 papers are available on the ACCA CB platform. You can access through my ACCA site. 5 past papers, section C, including 3 past papers out of 5, 3 past papers available with the full throttle, means full exam, section A, B, C. Remaining 2 only section C. These past papers at ACCA websites, these past papers, 7 past papers available, but these past papers only structure with the ACCA these past paper, it's not under the CB practice platform, but at ACCA website with the PDF based. So you can download accordingly. So these past papers are very good enough for the practice matter. Plus Kaplan. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. At final level, if you really want to get the success in the first level, get the knowledge from my lectures, exam techniques, and the knowledge. From my side, you will get knowledge and the exam technique. And then self-attempt questions and the regular feedbacks. That's assignments. Some reading material, e-notes, reading material including book, my notes, some articles, and then mock exam. This is what the route towards the success. This is what about the route for the success. That is the point. You have the preparation time for 8 weeks and the revision 1 week, or preparation 7 weeks or revision 2 weeks, like this. Mock exam at the last week and mock briefing. That is all from my side. This picture, it's not the making of the Photoshop. It's real. It's real. And this reality, it's actually based on power of belief. It's about power of belief. If you believe yourself to do something, if these people can run the cycle or play the tennis, that's for FM, you can easily work out. But the point is that you're on honesty and commitment with consistency. Honest preparation and commitment. That's a key point. Let's start the journey of the financial management with me. If you have any concern, if you have any question, you can ask me accordingly. That is what about the first orientation session about the financial management. We will meet regularly as per the schedule on a weekly basis. Recordings will be available on the portal You can access the recording as well. And that is what all about the things. Any more question? If you are taking the live session, if you are uh, watching the video, if you have any question, you can ask me on the WhatsApp number. It's mentioned 0092-321-827-1784. And thank you very much from my side. If you have any question, you can ask me. Take care a lot. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.